What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog, coming to you on this Abundance Wednesday. Not Hump Day Wednesday, Abundance Wednesday. Now, listen, I want you guys to get plugged in and focused for about a good hour here. I get it. There's so many distractions out there in the marketplace, on the news. They're coming up with another clubhouse via Facebook. All these things are distractions that will pull you off target. I need you just for an hour to kind of center back in, and let's decide, where do you want to take your family and yourself this year? Because if you lose track of that, you'll spend the rest of the year spinning in circles, coasting, telling people what you always wanted to do and didn't get to do. And I don't want you to live that way. That's why I bring on guests like DJ the Money Coach. We want to get you back focused to the original mission. What is the original mission? For you and your family to thrive and to get some of that pom-pom lifestyle. Talk to him, DJ. Tell him, who are you? Why are you called DJ the Money Coach?
Yeah, so for the people that don't know me, Erica, I'm just like them. Went to college, got that piece of paper, and I had to start at a professional job. And ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, I went to go get my first mortgage, and I got rejected, turned down. And the reason why I got turned down is because, unbeknownst to me, I actually went to school to become a CPA. Learned about corporate finances, the whole nine, knew how to do that top flight, but I had no clue about personal finances. I turned out I had a 525 credit score, and I had $40,000 worth of consumable credit card debt, in addition to my $20,000 student loan. I was clueless. I know I was just signing up credit card applications because we were poor and I needed the money. So when I got turned down, it was disappointing, but I just kept, grinding. And a few years later, I started my first business, Erica, and went back to the same bank and again got turned down. I had money, I had access, I had contracts, and they said, "Hey man, do you not realize your credit score is 525 and you still got this, $60,000 worth of debt?" At that point, Erica, guys and gals, most people quit. And I decided to be a victim. I decided to become victorious. So I read a book called Road to Wealth. It was like a dictionary, but I only read the chapter about personal credit, how it actually works for you and how it works against you. Within 12 months of reading that book, Erica, ladies and gentlemen, my credit score went to 720. 24 months after applying work and discipline and accountability, my credit score went to 800. And my credit score has not been lower than 800 for 17 years. And what I'm not excited about is that, yeah, I achieved that for myself. But what I end up doing, Erica, is I start taking that information into my church. And I start teaching people about family finances. And I created a course called Family Finance 101 and start working with my church. People start receiving it well. And then next thing I know, the YMCA called on me. Next thing I know, the Federal Reserve called on me. Next thing I know, the state of Illinois young attorney general's office that work with their new attorneys start calling on me. Then the state of Michigan state senator's office called on me. And lo and behold, I looked up, and 20 years later, Erica, I've worked with over 20,000 people, helping them do what I call the Pay Yourself First program. And I know most of your people want to be investors. They want to be entrepreneurs. But here's the deal. You can't get to that bridge until you got some basics, fundamentals down. I'm a baseball player, played in college, and I'm a baseball coach for kids 8 to 14. And the first thing we teach them about is getting on base, hitting singles to get home. Because if you hit a home run, that's really a mistake, and that happens very few and far between. Your best home run hitters, at 1 out of every 15 at bats hits a home run. But your best hitters, they get 3 hits every 10, and that makes them superstars. So what we did was we basically said, look, here's the first thing you got to do. Attack your credit. So what we did over the past 20 years, Erica, is take the model that I did for myself, and we show people how in 30 days to increase their credit scores by 30 points to 100, not by trading credit lines and all that, fake stuff, which works for momentary. We actually showed them how to be disciplined, look at how credit is, done in the 4 quadrants of credit, and actually show them how to pay those things down. What do you call what do they call it? Protests, bad ratings on your credit score. So we taught them how to get that stuff off, do notarized affidavits and stuff like that, and actually takes the stuff off of their credit before they know it without filing bankruptcy. Okay. So we teach them how to do that. Then we teach them, most importantly, how to get an emergency fund. And if you're an entrepreneur, Erica, like you and I are, you typically need to have 2 years of emergency fund set aside. And what these gurus on these platforms don't tell people, they'll tell them, hey man, get 3 to 6, but that's a person that works a job.
Yeah.
But if you're an entrepreneur like you and me, you need to have 24 months, no less than 12. So we taught them how to create emergency funds, put them in mutual funds, money market accounts, etc. And then we go back to another basic. We now hit them. Make sure you're fully funding your 401k, your individual KEO, your SEPs and stuff like that as business owners, because most people don't do that. My first business that I took to 7 figures, Erica, I did not put 1 penny in my own personal investment retirement account, even though it made 7 figures. I left $500,000 on the table in 5 years, and that would have been worth almost $4.3 million. So first thing I do is attack that, and then I have them go to the Roth IRA. So those are the basics of pay yourself first. 1, get your credit score up by 30 to 100 points in 30 days or less. 2, get an emergency fund. If you are an individual working for somebody, minimum 3 months, really 6 months based on the pandemic. But if you're an entrepreneur, you got to have 12 months. And if you're really an entrepreneur, really hitting this thing, you got to have 24 months. Then you go to your finance of your retirement plan, be it with your employer, or set your own up, which I eventually started doing with Melvin, who you've met. And then you go to the Roth IRA. And once you got those set in motion, you now become financially independent. So in 2002, Erica, I eliminated all my personal debt and student loan. I paid it all back. Didn't file bankruptcy or only anything. 6 years later, by still applying those principles and those fundamentals, in 2008, I became financially independent in America. What does that mean? I had a $250,000 income personally, and I had a 7-figure net worth. And I did that, ladies and gentlemen, by starting businesses, investing in real estate, dividend stocks, and investing in startup companies. And it's passive income, which gave me the P.O.M lifestyle, plenty of money and peace of mind. That's my story. And that's what I've been doing for 20 years. And even though this is our 1-year anniversary on the internet, I generally work B2B with corporations, Fortune 1000 companies.
I love it. I love it. And speaking of that, we want to celebrate your 1-year anniversary by playing a quick video.
Oh, okay.
Hold on 1 second.
All right. All right.
Ooh. Hold on. Let's see. It should play it. Hold on. Let's see. There we go.
We are celebrating his anniversary, and we want to celebrate you for sharing it with your friends and family members. Continue to do that, because DJ, the Money Coach, is helping people really, really win in the money game. And he wants to help more. And he is doing it because you're sharing it with friends and family. This is Dr. Willie Jolly. Congratulations, DJ.
Congratulations to DJ, the Money Coach, on an outstanding year of excellence. With you and your team of experts, you've helped so many within the community and across the globe obtain their dreams of becoming financially independent.
Happy anniversary to DJ and everybody at the 7 Spheres of Money, that whole team. Just want to wish everybody a happy anniversary, great success, and many more years of changing people's lives. We've increased credit scores, we've even gotten people assets, we've increased their bank account, and we're doing all the things we need to do to create passive and generational wealth for people who look like me and you.
I had the pleasure of being introduced to Dell as a person who cares about the plight of Black people. And I can tell you by his behavior, actions, and words that he's truly a Black nationalist. I want to congratulate you guys on your 1st-year anniversary of being on social media, and may you have many more years of being of service to our people and helping them become financially independent.
Oh, wow. That's the first time I've ever seen that.
Good compo.
Over here.
So listen, you put into the community, you get out, listen, it takes a lot for people to, 1, stay encouraged, and 2, stay on target. And so that's why I bring on people who can help you do that. Right? Because a lot of times people are like, Erica, oh man, you're talking about budgeting. I don't want to hear about that. That is in the flow of abundance. Again, I put out a video a couple of days ago. It said, what's the #1 mistake business owners make, DJ? What's the #1 mistake?
Number one mistake, I think, is not having a plan and not having resources.
True. And I put the number one mistake is they do not know their numbers. They don't know how much it costs to get a client, how to service a client, how much it's going to cost them. That's why you get these contractors. I come to your property. Oh yeah, I can do it for 10K. Get halfway through, man. I'm gonna need about 20K for this. It's they didn't even know their numbers. They're quoting you something they don't know. And in order to move your business and your life forward, you got to know your numbers, you guys.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, because that is the first thing that I talk to business owners, but it's kind of like it's self-evident. So a lot of times I don't say it because it's obvious to me being an accounting background, but you do have to know what your acquisition costs are. You need to know what your scaling, costs are, and your system costs. I mean, you were just in Miami doing a scaling systems, conference to change and revolutionize, take your business to the next level. And you're right. That's the first thing that people underestimate, is knowing exactly what each penny, each dollar costs to stay in business. Therefore, Erica, you and I both know that in 3 years, 90% of all small businesses fold, and has nothing to do with the pandemic. Nothing, because they don't know their numbers. And the reason why I say having a plan and having the resources, that they overestimate how much they can grow in a short period of time, and they underestimate how long they can stay in business 5 years later. And that boils down to those 4 basics of paying yourself first, knowing that number. If I start a business in my first year, I got to have, $5, $10, $15, $20,000. And I got to know that my acquisition cost for every dollar I spend in marketing, I got to get back 3. I mean, that's a minimum. I got to get back 3, or I have to get penetration of people that actually will come on my platform and then build a relationship through adding value with them, and then know that they will eventually spend money with you because you have overserved them and given them more information that is, pure, solid, that they can, back up with facts and actually have people to help them. So you're absolutely right. Know your numbers. And that's the reason why we have the 7 Spheres of Money team together, because we actually have CPAs on our staff, Erica, that have a minimum of 15 years expertise in business taxes, personal taxes, and real estate taxes, because that's all we do. We're specialists. We're not generalists. So that's an awesome point.
Thank you, Tanya Peppers, for the $20 Cash App. Awesome. She also said, so unprofessional when contractors freestyle on the numbers. Yeah, the thing of it is sometimes people will be in business so long, they're guessing instead of doing accurate measurement of what they need to survive and thrive. The other day I sat down with a bank, and she was just like, I'm so impressed by your numbers. 1, she was like, I can't believe you came sick. But 2, she was like, I'm so impressed with your numbers, because most people are out here just guessing, giving an estimate, and you have to know your numbers. And so what I like about what your staff does is you guys do a assessment, like a really true assessment when they first come in. And what do you call that again?
Yeah, we call that the 3 steps to success assessment. And here's the funny thing. Over the last couple of weeks, I've had people who had $15,000, $20,000 want to get in some of our investments. And I told them, you have to go through this assessment. The first one is a risk tolerance questionnaire. Why is that important? Because if you legally invest with somebody in securities, you have to have a risk tolerance questionnaire profile. And it amazes me that people don't even know that. And that's the first thing we do. So it's a 10-question tolerance questionnaire, and there's 5 different types of investment categories for basic investors. There's conservative, there's growth, there's income, there's balance, and there's aggressive. And you actually have to have somebody administer that as a witness and actually take the test. So that takes about 30 minutes for us to do that. That's the first thing we do with America. The second thing we do what's called a financial analytical report. And that's like you showing your P&Ls in the business world. And we cover everything. See if they have wills, trust, succession plan, what their insurance vehicles look like. And they typically think we talk about insurance. They only think about life insurance. But we actually identify everything: home, auto, life, business, disability insurance. We cover all of that. So that covers everything from $1 in the savings account to money in their 401k to their will and their trust and their power of due of attorney. So that takes about 45 minutes. So we do that top to bottom. And then the last thing we do, Erica, which is most important, we give them that plan, which I was talking about. We give them a comprehensive 14-page plan that covers everything in their life. We tell them how much money they need in their emergency fund for 3 months if they're individuals, to 6 months if they're small business owners, 12 to 24 months. We tell them exactly what their financial independent number is, how they get free. I know a lot of people like that FIRE program. So it's an acronym called FIN. So there's a literal mathematical number that you can take, tell you the date and time that you got free. I got free 2002 debt free in June. I think it was June 10th. And then I became financially what people perceive as wealthy in 2008, which was May. I think it was May 20th. And that was all based off on a mathematical equation. So from there, we give them an insurance evaluation. If they're buying real estate personally, we acknowledge where their credit scores are, their debt to income ratios are. Then we show them the best products that they can get for that real estate, acquisition for their personal, home. And then we do one for their real estate acquisitions as well. How much capital they got to have for the, construction loan and the rehab, since you and I both do a lot of that. And then we give them a retirement number. And what's important about this retirement number, which Erica, is that number one, people think that you just need a lump sum of cash. That's the hard route. You actually can match your retirement number with passive income. So if you have $1,000 in reoccurring expenses, Erica, and I got you to $1,000 in passive income, you would now be stable. But in order to walk away from a job, you got to do 2X, preferably 3X. And typically, we're able to get people there within 36 months if they are really, focused. And if they're just getting started, sometimes we've got people there 12, 18 months. So we give them that. We give them a car analysis. We give them a form for their children, teach their children how to be, financially independent at an early age. I have a program that's called Teach Your Kid How to Be a Millionaire by just putting $21 a month, starting at 13. At a 12% return, mathematically, Erica, they'll have $1 million, 1.5 million by age 62. And nothing you can do to stop that. That plan in of itself is very comprehensive. It takes us about an hour, 20 minutes to go through that. And before we do anything with America, they have to send us, with the complimentary consultation, a budget sheet. And they have to answer a survey, a little basic survey. There's 10 questions about what they're emotionally feeling about their money.
Right. And, it's important.
Yeah, it's very important. And right there, you can show them where don't beat yourself up, because a lot of people, they'll have a lot of debt. Like I said, I had a 525 credit score. I had $60,000 worth of debt, and I had an accounting background, but I was clueless about personal finances. So those are the first things that we do for them to rock with us. You can't do real estate with us. You can't do Forex with us. You can't do startup investing with us if you don't step through those three. Now, let me take this back. If you are a certified accredited investor, an accredited investor, like you and I both know, Erica, you have to have tax returns 3 years. They have $200,000 of income. And you have to have a $1.5 million net worth outside of your personal home and your car. So if you were to show our team that, we will put you in any investment that you want to go into, because you're now a sophisticated investor. Legally, you know what the risks are, and no one can be harmed if the investments don't work. Because here's what a lot of people don't realize. Past performance is not a predictor of present performance, and all investments have risk. Even money market accounts have risk. So that's what we start them out with. And I've been doing that, Erica, for 20 years. And that's why we don't have any blowback. I have not been a financial licensed advisor for 8 years. I used to run a practice that I managed close to $50 million. But I am a certified financial educator, and specialty is serving the middle class specifically. And what I mean by middle class is that if you're single and you got your first job, typically you'll make between $35,000 to $45,000. If you're married, you typically have a household income of $100,000. But if you're a professional middle class, it's generally single, $70,000. Married couples is generally $250,000. And the reason why this is important, Erica, is that because here's the thing that a lot of these high-end professionals don't realize. They're so educated, they think that Goldman Sachs will be knocking on their door to be their financial planner. Here's the reality. Unless you're an accredited investor and you have a $500,000 liquid, they're not going to rock with you. So you are so educated and you make such good income, you're not going to go to the Jackson Hewitts. You're not going to go to the Edward Jones of the world. No hate on them. But the reality is they're like Walmart. Okay. So if I got a PhD, I'm a doctor or lawyer, I want Goldman Sachs, but Goldman Sachs says you don't have enough liquidity. So you need a target model. So if you know retail stores, you know, Nordstrom's is the top, Target is the middle, and Walmart is the bottom. They all have their niche. So what we are, we're the target of the middle class, and we've been servicing those people for 20 years, and we're over 20,000 people that we work with. We've helped over 1,000 become financially independent. We've helped thousands become consumer debt free because we walk them through these platforms, and we won't do it any other way. We'll walk away. We literally had to turn away 4 or 5 people over the last 2 weeks that had money, and we're like, I don't need to go through that basic stuff, but they weren't accredited investors either.
Yeah, it's sad because what you want, it's always an education process, right? It's always an education process. We have to, anytime we invest our money somewhere, we can't roll the dice like gambling. It isn't a lottery. We actually have to take it very serious and add it to our long-term plans. One investment can set you back for years. I had a property, one of the properties I have that's in Virginia, it is setting me back because between the client issues, a small fire, insurance, these things, if you don't take them seriously, can set you back. You don't think of it, but then when you start adding it up over the cost of years, lost opportunity costs, it can set you back. And so that's why I like bringing people on who can really help clients who are on the classy climb. Because everybody's not going to work with me. Everybody's not going to work with big companies. Everybody's not going to be able to buy rental properties right out the gate. Some people need the foundation laid to help them get to the next level. And I think that's why I really like you guys' company, because I keep telling people, like, if you don't stay with it, you will get off target. You will get off target. 2020 threw a lot of people off target last year. I have a strong feeling if anybody's in credit repair or even you guys' company, you're going to see a lot of people who are like, oh man.
Oh, we got a lot of calls.
They said don't pay the mortgage for 3 months, and it's
killed
my credit score.
Oh my goodness! You know what? Don't get me started on that. Probably sat down with 10 people in the last 45 days that were hooked up with one of these credit repair programs, and immediately first thing they tell them, don't pay none of your bills. We take care of it. I said, you know what? That's the biggest scam going, because they get you locked in where you can't get out from them, and then they charge you usury. I literally just got a client and got her out of the program that she was in. And I said, just look at, I said, this is basic math. You had a decent credit score, you know, about 600, 620.
Yep.
And you didn't make payments for 3 months, and then your credit went down to 520.
Yes.
I said, that's just bad. She said, well, they're consolidating. And then I looked at the paperwork, and she pulled out, I said, look at the interest rate that the credit repair company is charging you. It was the same rate, Erica. And they were banking her payments. So they weren't making her make payments, but they were still having her send them payments. And so when I looked at it and I showed her, I said, look, here, they're charging you 18%. You made 3 payments to them, but they're not paying to the companies, and they're telling you they're consolidating, but your credit is going down. I said, how much money you got right now in this reserve with them? You could take that money right now, call them companies, pay it off, get this affidavit, and get it rolled off. Guess what, Erica? She did that, got it taken care of, fired the credit repair company. Now, let me say this too. All credit repair companies are not like that. They actually have some out there that are doing it great. And I want to backstep to what you're talking about with the real estate and the insurance and the fire. So one of the things we did in our refund to retirement, webinar several weeks back, our CPA James Lane talked to the entrepreneurs and say, look, as an entrepreneur, you have to have a plan for when things don't go right. This is the reason why a lot of you fail. It's not because of your resources and because of your skills. It's because you didn't have that plan in place. And what corporate America does, they have what they call a contingency plan. And they work on that with their accountants and their attorneys. So they said, probably a third of the time you're in business, there's going to be a contingency that jumps up, an emergency or urgent situation that you got to address. So one of the things we talked to them about, Erica, is having vehicles and certain types of insurances that are very inexpensive. And I do it by experience. My first company, White Glove Immaculate Services, which was a cleaning company, I had a multi-million-dollar contract with this company called Ashland Chemical. All of a sudden, after 3 years of working with them, because I was bringing my nephews and teaching them business, the procure manager got, jealous that I was teaching my nephews about business. And since she saw that, she basically told them I was bringing underage people on the site, which I had all the insurance and everything. But they decided to breach our contract for a minute. And in turn, that breach, I didn't have coverage for that income that was coming in for my employees. So I had to pay it out of my pocket. So my advisor said, hey, Dale, don't you know there's a thing called income interruption insurance? I said, what?
Say it again.
Income interruption insurance. And I was like, so like Lloyd's of London? He said, yeah, it's kind of like that. He said, so just take it this way. If you have $1,000 in revenue that you can prove through a contract, you can get insurance. Well, they will pay you 3/4 of that for any type of interruption, just like we had the freeze in Texas. It'll automatically kick in and pay you. And here's the funny thing about it, Erica, it only costs pennies on the dollar. It's like Aflac for businesses. And most of your people are clueless about that. And that's one of the first things. So when we talk to these people, they start thinking about, man, you're giving me this cost, you give me that cost, you that. No, we're giving you protection and hedges against the realities of life, and especially as an entrepreneur. So our CPA sets that up. Our legal people set up with the proper legal structure, because everybody's, is a legal pro, like LegalZoom. I can go on the internet and get me an LLC for $125.
Wait. I just want everybody to understand what we just said. I think they did not hear you. Income interruption insurance, y'all. Aflac for your money, y'all. like I want you to understand. Like, I'm a little sick and I may be on the slow on the uptake, but I'm telling y'all, like, that's a gem. You better write it down, because a lot of y'all are starting businesses and you'll have 2-3 months where you just, winning. And you haven't been in business long enough to know that it becomes seasonal sometimes.
All
right?
Businesses are seasonal.
All businesses, right?
All businesses
so then you have the summertime when parents got the kids at home, going to camp, eating them out of house and home, and your business is slower. And now you got this business interruption insurance. Come on now, y'all. I mean,
kicks right in. And I can tell you this too. Guess what? A lot of companies that are Fortune 2000 companies don't even have these things in place, because guess what Melvin and I do, we actually go out to corporate America, like a company called Lightning Logistics that's in the corporate, in your business, where they do the dispatch and they get 15% on the back end. The pandemic kind of, hurt their business, but they had these policies kicked in to pay them. And what it's like is what they call reinsurance insurance. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, how that works is that when Erica, you put a $1,000 policy on me, right?
Yep.
So I die, you get $1,000. So you know what the insurance companies do? They're self-insured with what they call reinsurance. We teach this in our Family Finance 101 class, that if you pay $20 to get that $1,000 policy on me, they pay $10. They take that premium and put it in the market in an annuity and get a 4 to 5% guaranteed rate of return. And this is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals. Some insurance companies notoriously pay late on claims because they're floating the cash and the compounded interest.
I believe that, because I've had claims played. I'm like, why is it taking 45, 60, 70 days here?
Exactly.
That truck them down. What's going on?
Exactly. And that's why our relationship. So if you know how these things work and you get this education and you build the foundation properly first, investing in the foundation of building a house, the bricks and mortar before you go to the second level, a lot of times your house will be able to sustain the storm. And what do I mean by that? Even though we only been on social media for 1 year, our whole business grew by almost 70% during the pandemic. And here's why. Because we've been on the internet doing consultations since 2015. So we've been early adopters, where I've been using Zoom since 2015, servicing my clients. And have you ever heard of this little small app that just got discontinued called Periscope? It ended on March 31st. I was one of the first early adopters to use Periscope and use Zoom for my clients to actually make that. So I had to invest, ladies and gentlemen, into the technology and create the insurances to protect me. So when we came to the pandemic, people were afraid and they were, reluctant to do business online. But since they seen how our model has already been in play for 6 years, it was very easy for us to scale up without a problem. And since we focus on the fundamentals, we actually got more business than we could handle. I mean, we had point in time with some of the stuff we were working with you where our server was shutting down because we had so many people calling in, getting the Family Finance 101 course. And then on the actual complimentary consultations, we had like 20, 30 complimentary consultations back to back that our calendar just got over flooded. But we start fixing those things and getting them right. So here's what I want to share with the people. And here's the thing. So if you can see this, it's called 3 Steps to Success. This is the level once you get through the basic training of the risk tolerance questionnaire, the financial analytical report, and the comprehensive plan. We actually do these seminars that are called 3 Steps to Success that focus on opening up businesses, investing in real estate, and leveraging the tax laws. And the reason why I'm showing this outdated flyer, Erica, is because I want to show people the back of it. Can you see that year, 2008? We actually been rocking and rolling doing these seminars actually since 2007. So when the market changed and it went down in the Great Depression, we recalibrated. We went back. It's a saying, when blood's on the street, buy more real estate. So my business partner, Clarence, he went from being, 100,000 six-figure in there to a multimillionaire because he bought all the properties back from me included, got them at, 10 cents on the dollar. And up to today, in his personal portfolio and his group that we manage together, have over 200 properties that are debt-free. We own them outright, Erica, and they're worth close to $14 million. And that's what we bring to the table for folks. And if you don't get the basics, you will never know. So I know a lot of your investors are entrepreneurs and they want the meat on the potato, the meat on the bone, right? So you remember, what are the three largest companies, one in movie streaming? What's the largest company in movie streaming?
Warner Brothers?
Netflix.
Oh, sorry.
Disney. Okay. So here's what I'm saying. How long ago did you know about Netflix and knew it was the major player in the marketplace?
Maybe 4 years ago.
Okay. I thought you would have been a little bit further back. Okay.
I mean, Netflix, remember you said to get them out the little thing and then you had to put them in your disc. And
that was longer than 4 years ago.
That's about, I don't know what year that was.
That's like 7-8 years ago. 7-8 years ago. Here's my point. We knew that was a disruptive technology that everybody was using because mainly young people use it. Because young people push the economy and change the paradigm, right? So here's what I want to give people an example. If you had Netflix in 2011, the stock was $43.54. If you had $5,000, today most people have $5,000 as entrepreneurs. Would you agree, Erica, with that? If you invested $5,000 in Netflix in 2011, you would have had 115 shares. Today, that 115 shares, Netflix sells at $5.46 a share. That'd be worth $62,852.10 as an investor. Guess what, Erica? I actually owned Netflix in an ETF and I sold it to get the money to invest in my bill pay business. So why am I sharing this with you? Because nobody knows everything and nobody knows what that could have turned out to be. So that was one mistake that I didn't keep the Netflix. What's the largest retail company on the internet in the world right now today?
Amazon?
Yep, Amazon. So how long you been knowing Amazon was the beast in the room and the major player in the world?
Who knows? Everybody says Amazon for a while now. But I think when we first started getting school books from Amazon, right? When you're in college, you're like, oh, I need some books. And this is cheaper. So it's kind of like around that time frame.
So
then that's been some years.
2005, right? 2005, 2006?
2006,
Erica,
2007.
do you know what this is? Can y'all see that?
Amazon something. Hold on, let me take the thing.
That is the first Amazon Kindle.
Ah, okay.
Why do I show you this? I was one of the first people in November of 2007 to buy the Amazon Kindle. Actually, they all sold out in 5 hours, and I had one of the first 1 million sold.
Did that thing work?
Yep, it still works. Look, you can see the leather wear on it. Here's what I'm telling you. So I bought Amazon Kindle. It was $500. It was $399 for the machine, about $50 for the leather, compartment with tax, $500. Everybody laughed at me, Erica. But I used to travel a lot doing those business, 3 steps to success seminars. And I used to carry a lot of books because I'm trying to eat up these books and learn and learn. I had Amazon. Amazon in 2006, you about to throw up. The stock was $26. $5,000 investment would have gotten you 192 shares. A year ago, I think, not Amazon split one time since 2006.
Yeah.
Today, those same 192 shares, Erica, are $3,399 per share. That will be $652,692.48. From a $10,000 investment as entrepreneurs, which most of us at your level have that kind of money to invest in a business. So what's the biggest media company that's a fruit that everybody uses?
Apple.
Erica, Can you see this?
Yeah, it look like it's been beat up. Somebody beat it up.
This is the original iPod, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
The original iPod. Okay, I have 20,000 songs on this. Here's the point. I was an Apple guy in 2006. Another $5,000 investment. Apple shares in 2006 were $3. $3.
Mm-hmm.
That would have got you $16.50 in shares. Apple last year did a rare 4-for-1 split. That would have given you almost 5,300 shares, Erica.
Mm-hmm.
5,300 shares. Apple trades right now at 134. And this is very important. 134 times 5,200 shares is $696,000. So between Apple, Netflix, and Amazon, that's almost $1.7 million for $5,000 times 3, which is 15,000.
Mm-hmm.
I, being a financial expert, had some of the shares, sold them, made some good profit, but didn't hold them, which massive wealth is created. So
Mm-hmm.
let me bring you to today. Have you ever heard of this little company called Logitech?
Logitech. It's what's filming us right now. Logitech.
Yep, I got the headset on. So I have 4 children.
Mm-hmm.
I started teaching my children once they turned 7 about dividend stocks.
Yep.
So my youngest son, who's 14 now, 5 years ago, he said, Dad, I want to take my birthday money and I want to buy Logitech. So I said, why would you buy Logitech? He said, Dad, how long you had them headphones? I said, forever. He said, Dad, do you know that E-League, that's all people use is Logitech? Their mouse, their headsets, their pads. So I said, okay, check it out, Crusher. You can buy 30 shares of Logitech. So between my 4 children, Erica, we bought about 100 shares. $5,000 investment. I spent $5,000 that year on my kids, investments. $5,000. Logitech was selling at $971. That would have gotten you 560 shares, Erica.
Mm-hmm.
Today, Logitech is at $113.45, $62,000. 62,000. We still own Logitech, but we don't own $5,000 worth. So stick with me, ladies and gentlemen. Real quick, another company. You ever heard of a little small company called Roku?
Yes. TV. It was the first delivery from cable.
Yep, exactly. Same thing. 2018, we bought Roku. I bought 100 shares. The Roku stock was $31 a share. $5,000 would have gotten you 119 shares. Roku high water mark this year is 482. That would have been $60,000 in 4 years. So right now that's 120 something $1,000. And then the last one, which most people don't know about, is this company called APN. It's a software company that actually does the back end of client service management.
Mm-hmm.
I bought 136 of those shares back in 2018 for $5,000 at $36. It's now worth $36,000. Here's the thing. I learned from missing the boat on Netflix, Amazon, and Apple. I was a little conservative on Logitech, Roku, and Appian. But guess what now? Since I'm an expert and I've seen the video and I've done the research, there's 10 stocks right now. They're going to revolutionize the market. And I'll give you one word. Electric. Automotive. 2 words. Electric automotive.
Come on, people in the chat. What is he talking about?
So here's what I'm going to tell your people. If you never see me again, there's 3 movies you got to go watch. Minority Report, I Am Legend, and Enemy of the State. All 3 of those movies were about 12 years old. And right now, Erica, you and I both know this, about 60% of the stuff in those movies we're doing in real time right now.
Enemy of the State, I would say yes. Minority Report, we almost there now.
Yeah. So check this out, Erica. Those technologies that are driving electronic vehicles, Amazon is doing a commercial right now. If you haven't saw it, they are telling you we bought over 100,000 electronic vans last year that we're putting into play. You're right, Beauty Jock, Tesla. But guess what? Tesla is already shot through the roof. Yep. I'm going to show you in our free webinar after this interview, those stocks specifically, if you're smart enough to come to the free webinar. I've already acquired over the last month over 500 shares in each company that in the next 5 years, they're going to be worth about $1.5 to $2 million. Now, I can't guarantee you that there are going to be this, but answer me this question. Do you think that we're not going to be using electric cars in 10 years almost 70% of the time? Yes or no? Put a yes or no in the chat. If you don't think we're going to be using electronic cars, put a no. If you think we are, put a yes. And then let me tell you what the UK and France just announced. They just announced after 2022, they will no longer allow new car sales of gas operated vehicles. Everything will be electric. General Motors, Ford, Hummer have just announced that by 2025, most of their cars will be electric. And if you could get on that bandwagon with the electronic stations, the batteries and stuff like that, and know which stocks those are, you will make a grip if you had at least $1,000 in each one. When I mean a grip, that means you'll make a six-figure investment. You feel me? If you have 5,000 and you can afford to invest 15,000 in 3 stocks, you will make a couple of $1 million. And if you have children, I want y'all to hear me. If you have children, like the ages of my children from 8 to 17, and put their money in a custodial Roth IRA, they will have $10 million in the bank by the time they're 50 if you do it this year and next year. That's the last free information I can give them, Erica, because these are facts, and we have experts in investments. Melvin Hobson, 17 years as a registered investment advisor, manages millions of dollars of assets under management, has a master's degree. He's an SPHR, highest certification you can have in HR. And he goes across the country with me teaching Fortune 1000 companies about the stuff I'm telling you about right now. He has a Series 65, which does assets under management. And he also has a Series 7, which allows him to do individual stocks. And Melvin, for our anniversary, Erica, is going to give away a free will to anybody that gets involved in our special in the webinar today for less than a couple of $100. A will that'll cost you typically $300 to $500, absolutely free as a gift for our anniversary. We're excited, Erica. We're super excited. And so I know you got some other questions for me. I know we only got a few minutes left. So hit me the questions, then I want to show you a year in review of what we've accomplished with working with people in your organization and across the whole internet.
Well, I love it. I love it. You guys, I want you to understand, when you go to Europe, and not trying to be snob or anything, but if you go to Europe, they already have the little Fiat cars. That's their whole culture. So turning a bunch of Fiat cars, into electric cars, they're like, hey, okay, no problem. Saves them time. And if you ever look at the cost of gas in Europe, you'll see what he's talking about. Tanya Pepper said, smoke detectors with lithium is now mandatory in my town.
Exactly. Exactly. And guess what, Tanya, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. I got a company in the lithium battery space that is going to do 20 to 40x. Last year to date, Erica, this company has already done 1,500% increase. And that's the stock was less than $5. And it ain't even scratching the surface of the surface. We're literally at 0.01% of the what they call the penetration in the market.
Yes.
And if anybody knows S-Curve economics, let me give you this real quick. Go get this book called The Roaring 2000s. The Roaring 2000s by Professor Dent. In the book, he teaches you about what's S-Curve economics and how stocks and emerging technologies change the world. So early adoption phase is the first phase. That's when I got the iPod before, anybody else, or the Kindle. That's early adoption. Guess what happens at that phase? Stuff is extremely expensive, and usually wealthy people and entertainers have it.
Yep.
So now they have that product, and the entertainers, they start to do what? They promote the product. They get endorsement contracts. So now there's a phase called general acceptance. From 0 to 10 is early adoption. And then from 10% to 70%, it is an arc that goes completely up like a roller coaster. You know how you go on the roller coaster and go up? That's an S-curve, what most people don't realize. From 10 to 70%, which takes 3 to 5 years, you get 70% penetration in the market, and everything grows by 2 to 3,000%. And that's where electric vehicles are right now. So anything in that ecosystem, batteries, charge stations, lights, lasers, are gonna do that S-curve economics. And then when it gets to 70%, it's gonna level off. That's why Tesla is not a good stock to buy. It's probably a good stock to short, but it's at its apex and it's going to go up maybe 5, 10, 15%, you know, over the next 3 years, but it's not going to have a 10, 20, 30x exchange. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So in the webinar today at 7 p.m. Central Time, Erica, we're going to show people the businesses to be in. We're going to show them the real estate to be in, and we're going to show them how to leverage the tax laws why you can pay 0 taxes on distributions in the free webinar. And then on top of that, we're going to give them a pack. Check this out, Erica. Tell me if this is not crazy or not. I might have blown my top because I'm so excited with the growth we had over the past year and the relationships we developed with you guys. We're going to give away 100% of all our products and services that we have put together over the last 5 years. I mean, all of them, meaning all of our courses, all of our webinars, all of our trainings, if all the people could see the wisdom of investing a couple of $100. So what they normally get in our Family Finance 101, we're going to give them 7 comprehensive consultations with our whole team absolutely free, a $3,500 value. My CPA, Melvin, myself, my attorney, my banker, our Forex people, we're going to give all of that away. And all you have to do is register for the free webinar. And we're giving away $1,000 every day, began yesterday until May 1st. We're not giving away cash, ladies and gentlemen. We're giving away products and services. So we're going to give away our Family Finance 101 course, which is normally $299. We're going to give that away absolutely free. We're going to give away our 3 steps to success, which your real entrepreneurs who are qualified. We're going to give that course away that's normally $799. We're going to give it away absolutely free. We're going to give away the whole kitchen sink. And then on May 1st, we're going to give one lucky person that grand prize. We're going to give away $10,000 to one person in products and services for the whole year, Erica, the whole year. And all they have to do, Erica, to get enrolled is either email us at nick@djthemoneycoach.com. Yes. Yep. It's free tonight. Yep. It's in the link.
In the description. We'll put it in here. And also email everybody on my email list for his free webinar tonight.
Yep. This is our anniversary webinar. It's going to be the only one we ever do. And I will never give away this kind of stuff ever again because it's a one-time celebration. And these are mileposts to business. So we want to serve the community and tell them how we appreciate them, you know, getting down with us. And we want to get back to the community. So the other thing you can do, you can just call us 866-395-3042. 866-395-3042. And all we want you to say is happy anniversary, DJ. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep serving the people. Keep, you know, bringing the, you know, the good news to Erica Williams Classy Climb. Or you could just go to our YouTube channel, which we're really celebrating this 1-year anniversary, 7 Spheres of Money, and just subscribe. That's all you got to do. No strings attached. I mean, how good can it get for that? So, Erica, can I share with them the accomplishments that we've helped a ton of people over the past year?
For sure. One last question. I see Broker 205. Thank you for the $5 super chat. What company's doing water procurement or purification? Water's the next gold mine. I want those stocks. Are you going to be talking about that in your webinar tonight? Possibly?
You know what? We will talk about that too. We have some water things that we could talk to you about, Broker. Absolutely. And here's the thing that we advise people to do. Number 1, I am no longer a financial advisor. Before you take any of this information I'm sharing with you educationally wise, consult with a professional investment advisor. I'm going to say that again. The information I'm sharing with you right now, guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, this is financial education only, and is only for the purpose to encourage you to get in the game. But in order to execute, do not go do this without consulting with a registered investment advisor or a financial planner. Did everybody hear that? If you heard that, please put a 1 in the chat because that is a legal disclaimer. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just informing you, educating you on what's going on in the world and the trends. But before you execute, consult with a financial registered advisor, financial planner, or if you decide to do your own, do your research diligently. The information I'm sharing with you, I have been studying it for years. The e-vehicle stuff, I've been studying for the past 18 months. Okay. All right. So now that we got that clear, let me share with you, Erica, and the people what we're excited about and the blessing that you bestowed on us to help people. Yesterday was our 1-year anniversary on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. We are currently working on a $15 million venture capital product that's going to close around June 1st. And that product is one that we sent you, Erica, and is one that I have in the picture. And this is a company that's 100% black owned, ladies and gentlemen, that you can actually get involved with. Our number one investment advisor is a gentleman named Brandon. He's 32 years of age, ladies and gentlemen. He manages a $1.5 billion portfolio. Erica, have you not met Brandon? Oh, I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me, Erica? Because I couldn't hear you.
Sorry, I muted it because I was coughing earlier. I didn't want to be rude.
Okay. Would you tell him, have you not met Brandon?
Yes, I've met Brandon.
$1.5 billion asset under management, ladies and gentlemen. So Brandon is actually steering and guiding this $15 million project that's in our pipeline right now. That's how we are connected. It's nothing special about me. That's our team. Last year, Erica, we wrote $10 million worth of home, auto, life, and business policies through our network. 10 million. And in the process, we saved people over $1 million in premium. I'm gonna say that again. We wrote $10 million home, auto, life, and business policies like the income interruption policies, and we saved members over $1 million. Last year, in the last 12 months, we did $7.5 million worth of refinances for homes. And in the process of refinancing for homes, Erica, we knocked the average 7 years off of people's mortgages, and we saved almost $1.4 million on interest to knocking off them 7 years and their mortgage. And that began before the market even went down, Erica. You know what I'm saying? So now we're on the track to actually do double that, because interest rates right now, if you're buying for the first time, you can get a mortgage for 1.95% if you got A credit and low debt to income ratio right now. That is crazy. You feel me? So we also have helped people put $2 million, Erica, in their Roths, their 401k, their self-retirement plan, their 403b, their emergency funds, dividend stocks, and custodial Roth IRAs. Check this out. Our rate of return, cash on cash, 13.5%. 13.5%.
13.5%, y'all.
If you divide that into the rule of 72, just take 12, your money's going to double in about 5.5 years. That's amazing. We also have acquired $1.6 million in new property investments in Detroit and St. Louis and Texas. Cash on cash return, Erica, 34%. Average rent we collect, $850 a month. I know last time I was on here, I showed you pictures when I was in Detroit. I go back to Detroit every other month, and we generally, in March, we buy 20 to 30 properties. In October, we buy 30 to 50 properties, all cash. And Erica, you've been in the market. You know, right now, people are selling properties, Erica, and you know this, $20 to $40 to $50,000 over list price.
Mm-hmm.
And professional properties that are $500,000 and above, people are paying $100 to $150,000 over list price. I have 3 clients in the last 30 days have bought homes that are $500 to $1 million, and each one of them paid an average of $55,000 over list. Our executive members, after they came through the 3 steps that we get them qualified, like you know about, Erica, from coming on your show, those executive members have had a minimum cash on cash return of 34%, as high as 170% cash on cash return. We also started a Forex fund on January 1st. We have 300,000 in the Forex fund. And we have had 8,500 people, Erica, participate in webinars, seminars, consultation, and corporate events over the past 12 months. As recently, we did a corporate presentation for JanPro Houston, which is the largest commercial cleaning company in North America and Canada. And we're doing a pilot program with them right now as we speak, Erica, with their franchisees. And we also, Erica, can provide franchise opportunities in that industry for startup entrepreneurs who want to, you know, start slow, get a good backing and support system. JanPro is a phenomenal business to be involved in. And you can get involved in JanPro, Erica, for as little as $2,500 and be your own owner with a system. And then last but not least, we've opened 75 new businesses in trucking, digital marketing, real estate, notary, wholesale, and Amazon Web Services with one of your great clients, Nisha Howe, and she's doing Amazon Web Services for our members now. That's what we have done over the past 12 months from April 20th, 2020 to April 20th, 2021. And the reason why we're giving away everything, because we couldn't have done it without knowing you, Erica. We couldn't have done it without knowing Urban X. We couldn't have done it without Dr. Jolly, which was on the entry commercial that said, thank you for our 1-year anniversary. And most importantly, we couldn't have done it without you, ladies and gentlemen. So we want to give back to you. Just register for the free webinar. Call us and say happy anniversary, DJ, at 866-395-3042, or email us at nick@djthemoneycoach.com and say happy anniversary. You automatically get into the $1,000 a day giveaway of $1,000 of products and services absolutely free. So,
sounds good. Listen, I'm about to drop this video on them. They better come look at it.
and we're only doing this one time. $1,000 a day, giveaway products and services of everything we got in our catalog. There it is. I'll shut up.
Hi, I'm DJ the Money Coach.
Who's that man right there?
You want to become financially independent? You want to have consumer debt freedom? You want to have passive income, learn how to build a business, acquire real estate, and achieve the lifestyle you deserve in 2021? Well, hit that link below right now. We've worked with over 20,000 people in the past 2 decades, helping them become consumer debt free, increase their credit scores by 30 to 60 points in 30 days or less, and help them acquire businesses through real estate, taxes, and a network of experts just like me. So you'll get a complete 3-hour, 18-module course called Family Finance 101 that'll teach you A to Z how to become consumer debt free, credit worthy, and it put you in position to become a certified entrepreneur. We'll also give you a complimentary consultation with me that's a $500 value. Why would you want to do that? Because I have already achieved that, and I can help you achieve your American dream in 2021. Hit the link below, get the free webinar and the complimentary consultation, and I'll see you soon and wish you a pom-pom lifestyle that's plenty of money and peace of mind. Come join us.
All right, everybody. I hope you are seeing the information. I even put the link inside the chat. I even put it on the shared community post for you guys to register to tonight's webinar. If you're one of the 13 to 15,000 people, depending on which email list you're on, you're going to get an email there of the event tonight. You guys better be ready. Show up. Get some of this really good information. And DJ Money, give them the nice hands and the pom-pom lifestyle.
Oh, yeah. So the first time I show them, you saw in that video that said, 820. And my credit score is still the same. There it is, 31821, 821. So what I want to leave you with, ladies and gentlemen, and again, want to thank you, Erica, for blessing us, allowing us to come on your show and share financial education with people, is the first thing first, pay yourself first, ladies and gentlemen. Don't pay yourself second and never third. And what does that mean? That means get yourself an emergency fund. That means increase your credit. If you are below 720 right now, increase your credit by 30 to 100 points in the next 30 days with pros that do it the right way, where it'll sustain. You just seen my credit score 1 year to date from that commercial that said 820, and this is 318. We're real about that. Get yourself a Roth IRA. If you don't have one, get one. If you're not fully funding it, fund it, because you have the May 17th, or if you haven't filed your taxes, to fully fund 2020. Please do that, okay? And then last but not least, get yourself a business that you can actually walk in with a system and let professionals help guide you. There's nobody that's a one-man island, one-woman island. It's all team, okay? It's all team. And if you put all those things together with 3 dirty little words, accountability, work, and discipline, you can be financially independent in America in 5 years. Not 1 year, not 1 month. That's luck, okay? 5 years is the model. 3 to 5 years of constantly grinding in the system. And with that said, I want to give you guys, have a pom-pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money, peace of mind. And we want you to come join us on the Beaches of the World Club. And your beach doesn't have to be an ocean or sand, but wherever your freedom and your tranquility is, that's the pom-pom lifestyle. And that can mean just being a 24/7, 365 parent, watching your kids grow in the most vulnerable time of their life from 0 to 14. And hit that link and register for the free webinar, and we're going to break all this stuff down in details, and then we're going to give you an amazing opportunity to join the program. So, Erica, I thank you for your time. Get well, and we'll see you next time on the Freedom Train.
Pom-pom lifestyle, y'all. Have a great night.